All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Make HOAG Money. A couple of questions here in the chat. No, it did not happen on Tuesday. I was out away from the office on Tuesday, so we did not have it. Let me know if you can in the chat that you can see everything in Zoom, and let me know in the chat in the YouTube stream that you can see everything there. I apologize if there was some confusion between this and the market forecast this morning. I'm going to get another thumbnail up so we won't have that confusion in the future. So far, loud and clear, looking good. All right, well, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at what we got to get started here, and we'll get into the markets shortly. This is the CFTC disclaimer. It is risky to trade. We do not want to risk anything that we need. We only want to use risk capital. To me, risk capital is money that I can afford to lose. So one of the reasons I love Top Step is you're not going to have to risk your own capital. We're going to put that up for you, and you get a safe environment to develop your strategies and everything. So, excellent, Dario. John, thank you very much. It also states that hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations, and I think the main one is if you're in a simulated account, you don't have any accountabilities, no consequences, and no rules. Getting into a trading combine or into a funded account, God forbid, makes it much more difficult to make some difficult trading decisions. We're not going to be talking about buying or selling anything. You guys are going to be telling me what to do, and I'm looking forward to it. The rules for Make HOAG Money. Kindness and respect above everything, please. There's a lot of different opinions in markets. It's what makes them so good, and none of them are bad, none of them are good. They're just opinions. We're going to have a couple of people enabled to speak this morning to talk about trades. All of you are going to be involved in the decisions, and of course, context of the trade is going to be helpful. You will not, however, be able to vote for trades if you are watching on YouTube. Only those that are in the Zoom room will have that ability. We're going to be focusing on the E-mini S&Ps for opportunities. We do not have to trade. If we don't see a trade, we're not going to trade. There are no losing trades allowed. Of course, that is a joke. We know that there's going to be losses. We just have to accept them and move on. And your feedback is going to be, we are going to be asking you for feedback on how to improve, expand, whatever you think about Make HOAG Money. Please tell us. You can email me directly at jhoagland@topstep.com. You can email in feedback to support@topstep.com. Wherever you get that feedback to us, we really appreciate it. If there's something you don't like about it, make sure you tell me. If you love Make HOAG Money, tell everybody. All right. Let's get ready to rumble. Here's our platform. First things first, I'm going to ask if we are going to take the opening range trade. And here is the poll. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Opening range trade, first minute. We are opening out of yesterday's range and value. We are opening with a gap. The nuances we were talking about on the forecast this morning were, yes, we've got a market that's out of balance and likely to provide opportunities early in the session. We are at 51 participation. We have 86% saying yes, and Zach saying 1. That's a yes as well. All right, so we're going to be looking to take the opening range. I'm looking for a couple of folks that would like to speak. If we've got a couple of frequent flyers, that's great. If there's somebody new that wants to talk, I can make you a panelist and you will be able to speak and show your charts if there's something that you want to look at. Don't all jump at once. You can also just, be John Harris. All right, we've got a victim. I'm promoting you to panelist, John. You may have to come back into the room, but then you'll be able to use your microphone and speak and share your charts. All right. It's good to see all of you here. Anybody who would like to speak, you can raise your hand, and then I can pop you in. I don't want to put anybody on the Ben. We got Ben, a frequent flyer. Good to see you, Ben. Don't want to put anybody on the hot seat here. All right, we've got a couple, so we're in good shape. Hello, Josh. Huh? Okay, John, if you have a microphone, you're going to be able to speak. And Ben, I know you've got a microphone. How are you? I wonder if folks on YouTube are going to be able to hear.
Okay, you can hear me before. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, Ben is speaking. Can you hear him on YouTube?
Testing.
He's saying testing. Okay, you can hear Ben then. Awesome. All right, Ben. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Oh, well, I do have some ideas.
Yes, Jack, we are trading live today.
So we got about 5 minutes, and we're talking the opening range trade. Have you thought about, you're thinking opening range to the upside?
I'm thinking opening range either direction, but I think we're going to stick with the rule that it can't be more than 5 points wide.
Right. Well, I don't know what the market internals are going to say yet, but I tend to, I'm looking at, now, are you going to share your screens in the sessions like you used to?
It's shared now.
No, I mean, like where we can share ours.
Oh, yeah, if you want.
Yeah, because it helped me to talk this through, like why I'll try to be real quick. Let's see here.
All right. I'm going to manage the opening range trade if we're still on your screen.
Okay, let me just pop this off here. You got my screen yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right. All right, here we go.
Okay, so let me bring this over. So there's Ben's screen.
Right, and those charts are just more tactical things. I just want to start with the daily here. So, this is a regular trading hours chart here. And I want to draw attention. These are some fib levels here, 1618, 127. Doesn't matter where they came from, but we achieve them in the overnight. Okay, so these are real good inflection points or stop points, whatever. But we look back over here. You've got this down bar, which is still, it's pretty much taken out, but there's a lot of room for short covering, even including this gap. Okay, so there's still potential for short covering, but initial trade is often, even if we continue the upside today, we may get a correction in the overnight inventory. And I'm favoring some of that for some other reasons. I'm going to point those out now. So let me pull in I'll just pull in this profile chart. Okay, so this is in ones, all right? So in the, it looks a lot different in the, if I stretch it out, we have effectively a good high in the overnight right now, okay? This is quite a few TPOs, quite a bit of tapering off is what I call attenuation. Here's that 1618 to 127 inflection point that I was talking about. This red zone here is just some pivot zones, whatever. So this is sort of a resistance type of area just based on those kind of things. But if you look at this, we've got a very thick volume point of control around 22 quarter. So as you know, these tend to be magnetic, right? Another thing that we got going on is we have basically a pour low in the overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not my favorite kind of pour low. This kind of pour low almost feels like somebody was supporting it, but it's there. And there could be a lot of potential for a move back to the BPOC of yesterday. So I'm liking an initial move to the downside as far as the opening range goes. But
Okay.
the other idea would be if we do pop above the overnight high and we don't hold above it, we fall back into it.
Look for the short.
Yeah, just try to close the gap. Doesn't mean we're going to take out yesterday's range or anything.
Extend and fail.
Yes, look above and fail. So
Awesome.
Those are the two initial things I wanted to share. So
Okay.
We have some potentialities to the downside, so I'll leave with that.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're getting pretty close here, so let's.
I want to. Somebody's asking what does TPO stand for? It stands for time price opportunity.
I'm going to go with the mini S&P here. We were trading micros live here. So this 1 minute chart is going to point out the opening range trade clearly for everybody. Anne Marie was, I think, talking about the uniformity of the profile from last night. All right, here we go, and they're off. So we got just a full point here, 5 ticks. And my dog running around here. My Lacey girl. Okay, we are within 5 points here so far. $50. So 41, 75, 42. And 42, 37, 75. So the opening range, okay, we just got the long to the upside. We took out the high of the opening range first. We're still in that area of the overnight that kind of showed some excess. We did open in that excess. Now, what I think I want to do here, and we can vote on this quickly, is if we take out the low of the opening range, do we double down here? I'm putting it in.
While we're waiting on those results, since we already popped up the high, did you take that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we took it.
So we're long and we're still in it or out?
We're still in it right now.
Okay.
I usually will move the stop a couple of ticks past the low of the opening range just
Well,
to...
I see what you're saying. I didn't understand what you meant double down. So you meant to get stopped out.
Right. Yeah, if we get stopped out, we get short. But I always take the stop and move it a couple of ticks outside the opening range just for what just happened. We took out all the stops just below the low of the opening range.
I do want to report the market internals are pretty positive at the moment.
Okay.
So that's bode well for being long.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we've got almost 60% saying yes. If we take out the low of the opening range, we cannonball it and go the other way. There's the results. And I'll stop sharing that.
Sometimes you will buy or sell the half back of the opening range. And what do you think about jumping the gun a bit? Because I'm going to need to rephrase what I'm trying to say here. Trying to get in on it a little early.
The short, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, we're flat now.
Like if it comes back up, because I do see a bounce here. We have a low volume node in the overnight volume.
Right here.
The overnight value area high is right there. It's 36. And, it just looks like there's a little support there possibly, but, of course, I might plow through it. It just may take a little, the VPOC just moved down, which is good for short. So I'm wondering if.
So you're thinking shorting up around 39, about halfway back?
Yeah, well, 39 or against the open. Maybe it's too late now.
Well, we'll vote and see what happens. So what he's saying is, do we look for a short or add to a short, perhaps, because we're short below the opening range. Do we add to a short at halfway through the opening range?
We get some movement now.
Yep.
We're through it now.
Yep. Okay, so 70% said yes, but we may have missed that opportunity.
Well, there's still an opportunity against the value area high or against that low volume node, the shoulder move that you like. To add on.
To get right here.
Yeah, like right up here around 35.5, 36. As it comes back a little bit.
35.5. Where's our stop, Ben?
I'd say just above the open or just above the early morning high. If that's too close, I understand that. That's kind of how I like to do it.
So we're looking at 43.
Yeah, if doing micros, that's pretty reasonable.
Do we want to go? Do we want to give it more?
I wouldn't, because I think if it gets up there again, something's changed.
Okay, we're short 2. Whoops. And we're just hanging around entry.
So I think a good target for at least one of them would be the overnight VPOC down at 22, but might want to take one off down below one of the prior TPO lows at 31 or 28.5. That would be my thought. I don't know. Or take the first one off down at 22 and try to, maybe we're going to get a run down to close the.
You said 31 for the first out, right?
Well, yeah, that would work.
I know you're pretty quick.
Yeah. It's great to start the day with, something in your pocket. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
We can always add another one on. There might be another opportunity, especially if it's going to close the gap. But it does look like that 3I situation played out.
Right.
The 3 initiative. So, the odds are pretty high that we won't take out the full range of yesterday or anything.
Right. We should maybe come back inside yesterday's range, but not all the way.
Right. We could get value higher or overlapping to higher value, and we may enter into yesterday's range, but if that value doesn't come down in there, we might want to look to get long in there somewhere. By the way, because the 3I has been completely off my radar for so long since I first read mind over markets. I've forgotten all about it.
I know it's not really something that I look at or use.
Right. So I don't know. What's not happening is the VPOC just moved down below the value area high of the overnight. That's good, and we do have a double distribution in the volume. But the problem is, what's not happening is it's not continuing. I don't like that.
I'm looking for something here. I apologize. Cumulative delta install. I thought I had it on here. Session 8. Okay, so Anne Marie, oh, there now it comes up twice. All right, great. I thought I had it up here. We're looking at what's my other platform saying? So we are at negative 750 in delta. These are not presenting as correct. Negative 750. So what do we think here? Still valid, right?
Yeah, I think so. We're coming up on a new 10-minute bar in a few seconds. 5 seconds, that'll give us a little information. Probably get a little flurry of activity. I'd like to see it open below the overnight value rate high and below the BPOC.
The 15-minute?
No, just the 10-minute, and it did do that. It did open below the primary BPOC. That's that's positive for our short. But anything can happen, like you always say, because there is mixed, again, market internals are coming down a bit, they're coming off, but they're still pretty strong for the open. We're at the 4-to-1. The tick has just been high, but it's holding. It's holding to the below the open. So maybe there's limits that are just absorbing the buying. What's your average entry price?
36.
Okay.
Here's the opening range again. Back to it. Rob, your delta showing 5,000 positive. That's pretty. I'm showing 200, just under 300 positive for delta right now, Rob.
We basically just have a fight going on in this area.
Yeah. I'm okay with whatever happens. Of course. My worry is that overnight recent high. Markets don't like that.
Yeah, I would expect that at some point today. The thing is too, one of my mistakes I can make is I'm expecting something too directional too early.
Too early.
It's great to catch it, but that's how I get in the habit of taking shorter term trades, because it just like these agonizing delays, and the sad thing is once you get out of it, all of a sudden then it goes your way.
Right.
So I don't know what to say. I wouldn't, we put the stop in, accepted the risk, but it comes to point too, especially as we get over the open, if it holds there, starts really building value, it's like, well, should I just be smart and flatten, and save a little bit. I don't know. I still like it.
Well, the reason we took it is still valid, right?
Well, Yeah, but I think once we get above this high here, that's not.
Well, that's where our stop is.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue even above the open, but how many times do we see it go back and forth through the open?
Right. A pretty well placed stop so far.
Is it one tick above the high or two? Not that it'll make a difference, but remember that one tick chart I sent you where
3.
he took out one tick, and they went down and took it out by a tick.
Right.
Came up and out by 2 or 3 ticks and came down and took it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 3 ticks above the high. We just got within 1 tick of it.
Okay.
Oh, within 2 ticks of it. 42.5 is the high, the recent high that we got to.
Mm-hmm. New 15-minute bar. About 30 seconds. I'd like to see this one close negative, which it looks like it might. Yep. Okay.
All right, so here we sit.
Well, the ES causes gray hairs, don't you think?
You know what? The S&Ps don't bother me. What gets to me is the Nasdaq. It's just so whippy. I always joke, it gives me heart palpitations, but I think it actually does.
Yeah.
John, we got John Harris here. He's got his mic open. I don't know if he's got a mic. If anybody else would like to join us, let me know.
Bob Laments asks, any particular reason to switch to using the micro instead of the mini?
When we started Make HOAG Money, we started on Sim. We started just trading one mini. So we changed to live. So we're starting on the micros to try and build the account in a way that, somebody might actually do that. So if we can build this account similar to what we did when we were doing it in Sim, we're gonna size up over time as we build the account. Unfortunately, we're not doing a very good job of building the account here just yet, but it's just the beginning. There we go. Oh. Huh. You don't see that very often. There it goes. All right.
Well, we either got high tech or they're going for the overnight high.
Right?
There they go.
Yep, there it goes. Now, this is our next opportunity. So I think the question here is, as you were mentioning and we were talking earlier, do we want to See if the overnight high gets taken out and come back in to look for the short. I mean, I know there's suggestions sell the overnight high now. I'm going to just throw one in there and see what happens. With all the nuances looking to go long, I can't believe I find myself going short.
I was thinking, since we didn't, manage to come further downside, that if we do truly believe that it's going to take out the overnight high, then there's room to get long on the way up there. Maybe against the open or something, but that's how you can get chopped up too, is just throwing every idea out.
Yeah. Yeah, we stopped short of the high.
I like the short.
We didn't really vote on this, but here it is. We liked it. 74% said peak out above the overnight high and then come back for a short. We didn't quite get that patient. I am a contrarian, Dan. I am. Gets me in trouble sometimes.
John Harris said that the mic's not working.
The mic's not working.
I want to know if there's a way to call in. How about that?
So who's your mic? Oh, his mic?
Yeah, John Harris. He's another panelist.
Oh, okay. There is a way to call in on Zoom. I think you have to get out and then come back in. I'm not sure how to do it, actually, be honest with you. I know there's a way to. Well, John Doherty saying if you check the Zoom calendar invite, there is a call-in number there for you. Thank you, Anthony. Tick staying above the zero line. A lot of folks are looking at tick these days, aren't they? All right, well, while we're here, a couple of ideas and a couple of suggestions. Instead of, trying to fish around for folks that want to talk or, want to participate in this, I was thinking as this grows, we could kind of set up a schedule, and if you want to talk, we can, set up a day for you to be able to talk. Let me know what you think of that idea. And if this continues, okay, thanks, Anne Marie. Dan likes that idea. You like it too. Okay.
There's been one time, like a couple weeks ago, and you had Matt Hoyt and your brother and somebody. It was a lot of fun,
Uh-huh.
A lot of people, but another time there was 3 or 4 of us, and it kind of got a little chaotic.
Yeah, it gets a little muddy at that, right?
Muddy, yeah. Why not, as the Taco Bell commercial? Why not both?
All
Taco Bell girl.
right, so I'm gonna figure out how to administer that. Um, but
John Harris said he called and needs to be unmuted. You see anything from him?
okay. Okay, so John, I'm going to unmute you, but you won't be able to share your screens because you're on the phone. Maybe you will be. Here, you're allowed to talk now. You can unmute.
There you go.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Wow. Man, I've been trying to get on here for the longest time. Thank you for letting me on.
No problem. No,
So,
this is a first for us. So,
First, yeah, I do a lot of Zoom meetings, so I call into a lot of them when my microphone doesn't work.
so what's going on?
So I'm gonna give you what I see. So I always check the weekly chart, the daily chart,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go to the 20-minute chart. Is where I execute on the 20-minute chart. I make sure that I follow the color. So the weekly has to be green, the daily has to be green, and we have to be green on the 20-minute chart for me to execute. I use the exponential moving average, and it moves on price change. So it's constantly moving with the price.
Uh-huh.
And I use the current OHL to give me the range, the highs and the lows. So that's basically my setup, if you guys can imagine it. So with the week being green, the day being green, and the 20-minute being green,
You're looking for longs.
already, I'm looking for longs. It's above the EMA, and from Paul Tudor Jones, anything above the EMA is a forward moving asset, and below the EMA is a downward moving asset. So right now we're above it. I'm waiting for a confirmation candle for it to break the range of 42.47, and if it breaks the range of 42.47 with a confirmation candle, I'll be long. My risk to reward ratio is 1 to 11, so I would risk 10 ticks to make 33 ticks would be my goal.
Oh, so 3-to-1,
36.
basically over reward over risk. That's pretty good.
That 47 would put you just right on top of the overnight high there, so that sort of correlates to some market profile stuff. What I'm curious, John, why did you settle in on 20-minute candles?
So the person who taught me how to trade, I took a class from somebody. His name was Ian Dunlap, and he told me the class he said that the 20-minute chart is a good hybrid between the daily and the hourly and the 10-minute chart. So that's why I trade.
Okay.
I like that. I think that I don't do that myself, but I think that I've heard about people using unusual time frames, giving them kind of gives a different insight. You know, you might have an edge with it.
Now, me personally, I only trade. I trade bonds. I only trade. I trade ZB. That's what I trade. Because all this stuff kind of moves fast for me. So I like ZB.
Got it.
And I traded this morning. I only trade in the pre-market hours because I know like algorithms kick on around 9:30, and that causes a lot of volatility. So he also taught us to trade in the pre-market hours. So I trade ZB from 7:20 to 8:20, and if I was going to do an ES on Nasdaq, it would be from 8:20 to 9:30, and then I'm out.
And are you on the East Coast?
I'm in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay. So that's Eastern time zone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So This morning I made a trade in the pre-market, and I made a win on DB. I got 12 ticks, and then I got out with 3 contracts. And that was actually my first trade on my combine that I won this morning.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now, ZB,
So,
is that the 30-year?
Yeah, the 30-year.
Mhm.
I try to trade bonds, and I study the yield curve theory.
We got a new TPO in 2 minutes. That might it's going to give us a lot more information.
Yeah, because we need more information.
Yeah, right now I wouldn't do anything. Right now it's still indecisive. But I don't use any volume or any of these nodes, like the nodes and stuff you guys are showing. I don't use any volume things. I basically just go strictly off the chart and the trend. But like I said, if it breaks it looks like it might break the OHL at the top of the range, and I would be long there. But like anything could happen. You know, I could get whipsawed, it flip back around. But the major trend, the weekly, the daily, they all show bullish indication, and it's above the EMA. So I stick with my technicals.
Okay. All right. A couple of business here. Andy, I sent my email in the chat. Send me an email. Let me know what you're looking for. Is this the template that you're looking for here? The one we're using right now?
Yeah, yeah, that would be helpful once I learn how to utilize them. But
Okay.
we made a second candle on the 20-minute. It's bullish with a flat bottom. So I'm still bullish, but I've noticed something. A lot of the times the candles will flip the opposite direction. So like it'll start red and then flip green.
That's what we're looking at.
And then flip red.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
So
I think all three of us are of the same frame of mind that we think the market's going to go higher. We were looking to take advantage of a pullback to the downside to look for an opportunity for a long, which we didn't get. Right, here we go.
There it goes. There it goes.
So here's yesterday's the overnight high. So we talked about and agreed on if we pull back below the high of the overnight, we again look for a short.
Right.
Okay, Andy. Andy Tran, I just send me that email and I'll send you the template.
So asymmetric would be a short now and risk the high. One negative is that B period is an open drive,
Yep.
but we are staying now. We fell back in pretty quickly and we stayed below it. So, it's further we get from the high, the more risk we have to take to risk it.
Well, we're short already.
Oh, okay.
It was agreed upon, so as soon as we came back inside that overnight session, I just got short and put the stop above. Delta, I'm showing as 350 positive, not real helpful in any directional information. It's getting stronger to the upside. It's up 500 now. So we still see short-time buyers just lifting with market orders here.
I don't know if this is of any importance, but my EMA is moving slowly, adjusting upward. I don't know if that means anything, but what I see on my chart, since you guys can't see it. I will hold this for long.
We do have that 4250 round number. there does seem to be pretty heavy on the ask there.
Mm-hmm. That means it's going there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it often does. But you know, it could also bang against it. And,
Yeah. Just gonna move my stop a couple of ticks past it. We're what, 0 for 3 so far? We may be over trading a little bit.
Well, 0 for 2. We had that initial short, then you took a short, and I think that was it until this one. So that's 3. I found that every time I change something, I'm going to expect some damage.
That is very true.
So you changed this to the YouTube, and it seemed like this morning you were kind of pretty excited about it and all that.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
this
think
is.
everything's, it's a little.
Actually, I have to tell people don't tell me things.
Yeah, right.
Because the more things I know, it gets in there and it gets stuck.
Well, that's the point of this is we all get to contribute. If somebody comes up with a trade idea, we vote on it. If we agree, we take it. If we don't, we don't. Uh-oh. Gerald, water line broke. Oh, good, you got it fixed. We broke our water line here too. We've been spilling a little bit.
One thing I wish we would have done a little bit was look back on that May 5th day and look at see how many of those TPOs or single prints or double prints we've taken out, because there is some potential for the slow grind that I think Federico is talking about, grinding higher, which is, kind of a stealthy short covering rally.
Well, I mean, it's what you and I think we're all in agreement that things going higher. We were trying to find the pullback to get the good long, and we just keep trying to sell it. So now I think we're sucking wind trying to find a way into this.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, it's gone. I think it's gone now.
Yeah, no shorting it till later in the day. And you can tell some of the, I try to identify when it's short covering, like when you get those pops like that, to me, and I could be wrong, I only know what I know from sitting behind these screens, that's it. And just those pops tend to indicate that's people just giving it up versus.
Oh yeah, it's where all the stops were, and right.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to buy a little bit of a pullback here. Let's see if we agree. We're trying to get long now on a low volume node here. So we just bought it. I'll get out if we don't like it.
I want to check the 10-minute chart and see what's going on.
I would consider, if you just bought it up here and haven't really developed that volume node too heavily, there is another shoulder right below that's just above the overnight high. You might want to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people call it adding to a loser, but sometimes it can be really smart to average in.
Well, it would be. I would look at it instead of adding to a loss. It's this whole area up here. I think is ripe for an accumulation.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
But we're late to the party, so I don't want to risk too much here. I feel like a laggard up here. We like it, so at least we're in. 74% yes. So I did put my email in the chat in YouTube, and I put it in Zoom. If you're interested in joining me for one of these sessions and talking and just sharing your charts and being part of Make HOAG Money, email me, let me know, and I'll try and put forward some sort of a schedule, and hopefully, the date will work, and if not, we'll figure it out. I got to figure out how to administer all of this stuff, but We'll figure it out.
Ho,
Yes,
somebody
sir.
asked me a question. Can I answer it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Mark asked me, John, I have a question. When you're looking at gap fills, which part of the candle do you look for, the open or the close? So I know from the foundations of trading and doing a lot of stuff with HOAG, with a gap, we try to close the gap, and if we can't close the gap, we go in the direction of the range expansion. Range expansion is a big part of my trading. I try to trade the extremes. So as far as the candlestick, I look for the close and the open. I try to look for flat bottoms, and I try to stay away from dojis. I don't trade dojis. Don't buy any dojis. That's like
Confusion.
a recipe for disaster. Yeah, that's one of my rules on my wall. Hogue, I got your rules on my wall too from the Foundations of Trading, right next to Mark Douglas.
Well, I'm in good company there, am I?
Yeah, I listen to that book every day.
Yeah,
Trading in the Zone.
it's a great book. Check out The Disciplined Trader, also a Mark Douglas book, an excellent book.
Yeah, I do Trading in the Zone, Market Wizards, Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, and Money Master the Game to learn about asymmetrical risk rewards. On my chart, I got another green candle going up, and it's filling the wick of the previous candle.
So we're looking good here.
I think so. Yeah, I will continue with the.
Gonna hold this long.
I've got May 5th pulled up on the profile. Can I share that real quick?
Of course. Let me get you here.
Okay. Okay. So I'll try to use the annotation thing here. Let's see here. That works. Okay. So I just want to draw attention. This is May 5th. This is way back in the previous contract. And anybody's been around since I've been hanging in here, I usually use just the current contract. That's where I draw things from and don't look back, except in this instance. So, because in rollover, people roll over, these positions are still in there, maybe adjusted, but this is what happened basically back then. And we are trading right at 51 quarter, which is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have not even taken out this high yet. I don't know. It's too much for me to think about the adjustments and all this stuff. Maybe it already is. But then you have the overnight from the day before.
Mm-hmm.
So you got all this, and this was an open drive. Mouse here. Pull this down. I don't use these Zoom tools often, so forgive me here.
It's all right.
But you can see how in the overnight here, there's quite a bit of room for what's going on here. Well, now it won't. Okay. And then you got this DPOC up here, so there's a lot of room for the upside. Is all I'm trying to. That's all I want to show and say is that this is looking good now, and there's fuel to burn coming up. Just like this was below. Okay. This is what I was talking about this morning. We had all this, and that's exactly how it played out. I don't think trying it short was a bad idea this morning. It just didn't work. Or that's all there is to it. But that's all I had on that. So I'm going to stop sharing.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So here we go. Where's my risk on this long?
Well, I put my, I don't know what your entry price is, but I'm just down below.
Vince is saying point of control.
Yeah, I'm down below the VPOC.
All right, I'm going to put it in there. And what's a good profit target? Vince, we got your stop in.
4,300.
4,300. I like it. I like it.
Let me try to be a little more realistic. 42.75 is not a bad idea. That's the TPOC from that overnight I had spread out back on the 5th. But 42.90 is where that VPOC is. So I don't know. It's really hard to say how much of those people are still in the market, but we haven't been back up there.
Okay. So as we get closer to the end of the session, our stop is 43.50. Our profit target is up here at 42.75. Let me look at something here.
I do want to point out there is an R3 pivot at 42.58. So that's a nice trade. But 42.75 is still an idea too.
So we are looking at a pretty good reward over risk for this. I'm going to try not to try and manage this trade because I'm a horrible trade manager. So I'm going to leave it at this. We're either going to get stopped out, or we're going to hit the profit target, or I'm going to get out MOC. One of the three. Do we agree? Anne Marie likes, Bill likes. Anne Marie, those smiley and the sad one. It's like the actor masks. Fat finger, yep. Happens to me all the time. I figured. All right, so we are at 86%. That's the way we're going to manage this.
I'm curious on your chart that you have up there. There's a down arrow, right? So that is that some kind of sell signal that we've.
Those are executions.
Oh, okay.
You can't see the long because it's green, but it's right here. There's the little green arrow right there. All right. I can take those off. Oh, no, I didn't just do that, did I? I did. I can do this. There, we took the fills off. I hate it when I do that. Now I can't put it back. That's all right. So, well, we got it going on now. Getting pretty close to 920, and I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. Gene, right now we're long one micro. We're not trading big here just yet. We want to build this account and then add to it as we build. All right, well, maybe we finally got ourselves in the right direction here. We all agreed it was going higher and we were trying to get short. Sometimes I just think I'm smarter than the market. And I'm not. Yep, it does happen. Yep, for sure, Anne Marie. All right. Well, Daniel, we've got a profit target up at 42.75, and we've got a stop at 40 230.43.50. And the agreement that we have together is I'm not going to manage the trade. We're either going to get stopped out or we're going to hit this profit target or we're going to get out at 3 o'clock. One or the other. Talk about overthinking, right?
10% thing, if you come back in and look at it,
What's that?
you know, your 10% rule.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a solid. We get close enough and I get nervous up at that profit target, I'm taking it. And we'll see what happens. All right, folks. I got to run. As always, I really appreciate everybody being with me here today. And trade well. Have a great session. Apparently, I will be doing the recap today if you want to join me at 3 o'clock at the end of the day for a little review of the session, a little fun, and be ready for Friday. All right, so thank you, everybody, and let us know what you think. Always, we're looking for feedback on how we can improve. If you want to talk, send me an email. I'll set up a schedule. We'll talk about the schedule on Tuesday, and we'll see if everybody has the time and the right date and all that stuff. So it might be kind of strange to administer this, but we'll get it figured out. Everything is a work in progress anyway. Trade well today. Remember, anything can and usually will happen. Be good to yourselves, be good to others, and keep praying for peace in the world and in yourself. Be good to yourself. Trade well, everyone. Thanks, everybody.